Hello, children.
What I did was in that moment, the situation could have went one or two ways. I could have been hurt by the situation and responded, defensively. You know what I'm saying? Or, which is what I did, I took that statement and kind of like reprocessed it, and gave it back to her as like positive ammunition. So when she said that, I was like, I was just feeling myself. I kept on just amping my own self up, and I was like, oh yeah, definitely. I'm going for the 1970s Diana Ross look. I was like, oh, you might even catch me on some old Shaka Khan type stuff, and she was just like, okay, okay, and I saw that when I came off like that, it was really it didn't leave any room for any more of her comments. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't have any more space for anything that she had to say, because my energy about the whole situation had filled the whole thing up. So then she was like, okay, well, I ain't gonna say nothing else. I ain't gonna say nothing else. Then there's another female in the store like kind of agreeing with her, like, mm. Like I said, a lot of times people come off at you like, you know, that's the reaction, when in reality they actually are admiring what you're doing. Sometimes it's a fear thing that separates them from being able to do it. Because like I said, I think that when you are a person that rocks really big hair, or you're rocking your natural hair, especially when it's like, really like pow, that says a lot about someone's character. And it can sometimes say that that person is bold, that person is daring, that person is courageous. You know what I'm saying? That person is can just step out there without being afraid, or not feeling like they have to be a slave to other people's comments. They just do them. And I think a lot of times, I'm not going to say that people are intimidated by that, but I think people really admire that sometimes. And sometimes it's hard to let that ego down and say, hey, I really like that. I'm feeling that. I kind of want to go in that same direction. So people tend to kind of like knock it down, or come at you, any way other than positive. Um, and I think that, and when you are in a situation like that, as opposed to responding reactionary or reactively, and responding to whatever that person is saying, it's best to kind of maybe respond to what's prompting that person to say whatever it is they're saying. You know what I'm saying? And that way you're not really commenting on their reactionary responses. You're actually speaking to whatever it is that's perpetuating what made them say whatever they said to you in the first place. And I found that when you do that, you actually can control, you'll actually be the one to control the nature or the direction of the conversation. Just like when she came off on me like that, once I, you know, stay consistent with my vibration that I was dealing with, that pretty much was the flow of things. Then at the end of the conversation, you hear her saying, she's thinking about doing the same thing. So just a little mind, physical, spiritual, emotional technique for you all is, whenever you're posed with a situation like that, try not to respond to whatever it is that the person is just jumping off on you, but rather, respond to the thing that they're not saying. And you'll actually be the one to be able to take control of the situation. At least that's what works. You see what I'm saying? The moment you put your thoughts in the place that it needs to be, then that is the moment that you are then able to be in a position to summon the desired results that you want from that situation. You understand what I'm saying? If you coming into some opposition with somebody, say you want a job and it's your boss, and they coming at you sideways, you know what I'm saying? But you know you're not in the wrong, and you know that they are the ones that's sideways. Okay, you can't focus on the fact that they coming at you in an inappropriate manner, or they coming at you unfair or unethical. You know what I'm saying? Because if you focus on their motivations and you focus on their behaviors, it's going to take you off of your square. It's going to take you off of your level that you need to be operating on. You see what I'm saying? So, you got to think about the situation as if, like, look, you know what? I know I didn't do nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? And you also gotta remember that you're a divine being at all times. You can never forget that. You know what I'm saying? Always remember that you're a divine being, and always remember that your thoughts and the frequencies of this planet can always work in unison if you train yourself to do so. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, the benefit is ready. Like as far as the universe is concerned, the universe is always ready to serve you. And that's the thing. You won't hear that statement a lot of times. Especially when you're talking about the individual. We always hear from the aspect that we have to serve something. But at the same note, you know what I'm saying? The spiritual entities are ready to serve you at all times. But you can only be served if your mind is primed for that. You understand what I'm saying? Your mind is primed for that when your thoughts are in accordance with certain things. You see what I'm saying? So if you're dealing with someone like, say, for instance, a supervisor on your job, you have to be like, you know what? Look, I know I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? I know I haven't done any ill, excuse the phone, y'all. I know I haven't done any ill, I don't have any ill intentions. Hold on one second. I know I don't have any ill intentions. So you know what? I'm not worried about you. I'm going to let the universe deal with you. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm going to be straight. You see what I'm saying? It all boils down to how you act on this plane. You know what I'm saying? It all boils down to your interactions with yourself and your interactions with people. You understand what I'm saying? Because I could apply that situation to myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, you know what? Anything I do is not, my intentions are, I don't have any ill intentions towards anybody. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any, excuse me, y'all. I don't have any ill intentions towards anybody. You know what I'm saying? I know that the universe and the ancestors got my back. So guess what? I don't even need to be worried about what your motivations are. I don't even need to be worried about what your agenda is. And that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? You can't worry about what somebody else's agenda is. I can't worry about how beastly and how crooked somebody else may be. Because then that takes me that takes me out of my divine circumference. You see what I'm saying? And that's really a jewel to really sit and ponder on. Because we're getting thrown with opposition like at every moment of the day. You know what I'm saying? But if you know that your stuff is justified and is in harmony and it's not causing harm to yourself or others, then you don't worry about how somebody else is coming at you. You just gotta remember that they gonna get served. You know what I'm saying? Because of their own actions. You don't even have to take revenge on them. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to handle that. Because they already going to be dealt with just by their actions and what they're putting in motion. Off of their own ill intentions. Off of their own crooked agendas. Or unethical agendas. You see what I'm saying? I would give that to anybody that's dealing with any type of opposition in the workplace. Especially. You know what I'm saying? Especially for any melanated or brothers and sisters that's watching this video.
Sun and the moon, earth, stars, and planets. Before it's all done, y'all gon' all understand it like